Hi again. I previously presented a series of videos on borderline personality disorder based on my book. I will make a shameless plug, Borderline Personality Disorder, Survival Guide from Chaos to Authenticity. And what I tried to do there was provide a broad overview of how we conceptually understand borderline personality disorder, both within the confines of the criteria of the DSM-5 and also supplemental, but I think crucial um, criteria that I added as well based on the functioning and the health of the individual. Also, a conceptual outline clinically of how we understand and evaluate such cases. And the last part of the book was based on a survival guide, ideas and issues to consider to have a more meaningful life, to live a more dignified and healthy life, and to feel more authentic. Um, what I'd like to do now is present a series of videos on a very specific issue, and that is parents who have children with borderline personality disorder. And when I say children, I'm referring to children roughly between the ages of, let's say, 12, 13, and early adulthood. And by early adulthood, I mean about age 25. In the United States now, there's been this growing and important trend of adults, not just young adults, to either remain with their parents or to move back in with their parents. And while the reasons are generally financially based, there are also emotional and psychological issues as well. Um, and as such, when I say these videos will look at parenting tips and how parents can better understand and interact with their child with borderline personality disorder, I don't just mean with their adolescent child, but also their child who is a young adult, and frankly, even not so young individuals who are perhaps in their 30s and even 40s and so on. I don't have this in a book form like I have the other videos. I thought about writing a book on this, and I may do so because I have the outline. Um, the first thing I'd say really is that the videos I'm providing here, parenting tips and skills for those who have children with borderline personality disorder, should really look at the book I've written and the videos as a very, very good starting point because it has a lot of not just information, but conceptually understand the issues and the challenges and so on. Um, the very first thing I would say is in this video is you are a good parent. Many parents who I've seen over the years in my work feel a sense of guilt, um, responsibility, even shame that they haven't been good parents, that they haven't done enough, that their emotional or psychological, physical support hasn't been, in their eyes, sufficient to redirect their children away from the criteria of borderline personality disorder, including obviously self destructive activities, emotional dysregulation, behavioral dysregulation, and so on. And the parents feel, I'm not a good enough parent. And the very first thing I would say is that most parents are good parents. Most parents try their hardest and they love their child and they provide essential care, love, and support. Um, and it's important that you understand that you are a good parent. Obviously, it's important to read up on the subject and to get perhaps professional help and to speak with other parents who have children with borderline personality disorder. But it's important that you remain strong. And I don't mean that you remain strong for your child, which obviously is important, but that you remain strong for yourself. Um, One of the key issues here is that if your child with borderline personality disorder is such a problem and it's causing you to feel guilt or that you're not a good parent and so on, your child, whether an adolescent or an adult with borderline personality disorder, will pick up on your insecurity. She will pick up on your sense of low self worth and your self reproach. And you may even find, you're saying to yourself out loud, I'm a terrible parent. I just don't know what to do. And certainly can be extremely frustrating and difficult. Um, but you have to be strong and know that you're doing a good job, and probably the best job you can be doing, and probably providing the supports for your child. And most probably, it costs you emotional energy and time and so on. You must remain strong because your child needs you. Even when your child is an older adolescent and adult, your child may continue to rely on you for various supports, like any individual who has a disability or a disorder or disease. And it's crucial that you understand that you're a good person and you're a good parent and you're doing your best. It's also important in the same vein that you're not scared of your child, that you're not so intimidated by your child that you lose your sense of personal dignity, that you lose your sense of humanity. Because if you lose those things, it undermines your ability to maintain your self-esteem, to maintain your internal cohesion, and you become controlled and manipulated and coerced by your child with borderline personality disorder. It's important that that dynamic is understood and that you maintain, especially because of the ego boundary issues that we talked about in the book and the videos, that you maintain your personal sense of self, your own space. Similarly, as a parent, don't unconsciously sabotage your marriage. Don't undermine your family cohesion through unhealthy behaviors or anxiety-induced choices that undermine either your own personal integrity or the integrity of the family system when you have, perhaps 2, 3, 4 children, or you even, for that matter, live in a multi-generational home or family system. Take care of yourself. Get your own therapist. Attend to your needs. Be good for yourself. It's crucial because also when you're good to yourself and you're confident and you're doing your best and you maintain a consistent level of self-security and stability and safety and so on, your child with borderline personality disorder will also pick up on that. Just like your child with borderline personality disorder will pick up on your sense of insecurity and your sense of instability, she will also pick up on your sense of stability and security. If you do the same things every day in a healthy way, and you go to work every day in a healthy way, and you maintain good communication and emotional ties with your family members, as difficult and challenging as the borderline child may be within the home or for you as an individual, the borderline child really does well with healthy and safe consistency and security and stability over many, many months and many, many, many years. So not only do you have to tell yourself and remind yourself that you are a good parent, but you also have to understand that you have the bonus issue of acting as a model for your child with BPD, who will pick up on your own sense of security, allowing that child to gain an internal sense of stability in her own right, allowing her to feel just a little bit more secure, just a little bit more safe on a daily basis. And this dynamic will allow, hopefully, a better relationship between yourself and your child. And ultimately, it will allow for a better relationship also between yourself and your spouse and your other children, and between you and yourself internally. So that's the first part of this new set of videos on helping parents with borderline personality disorder children. You are a good parent. You're doing good. You love your child. It can be overwhelming and very stressful, but stay strong for yourself first and foremost. You know what they say when you're on an airplane and oxygen is low and the masks come down? Put your mask on first. Then you put your mask on your child, because if you're not able to breathe, you can't function. And if you're not able to breathe, no one else in the family will be able to breathe. You're a good parent. Stop with the guilt. Stop with the self-recrimination. You're doing your best. And that's the end of the first video in the series.